I was exploring on Google Earth and came across a mountain standing on its own that captivated me. It has a much stronger resemblance to a pyramid than most, but it gets much more intriguing. Locals revealed to me that there is a monolith at its base, an ancient sacrificial altar, and that altar looks toward a larger monolith on the side of the Pyramid Mountain.
This mountain is deep inside of Colombia in an area originally inhabited by indigenous Zenu people in ancient times, but is now surrounded by Colombian cartel territory.
I still couldn't resist going in to explore this, and you, well, buckle up, you're coming along.
Welcome to Sweller Than Dweller.
Well, the first problem is I got up at 6:30 a.m., got dressed, opened my door, and it was raining. So I waited half an hour and it stopped, so I ate some breakfast and started out. But it's a complete whiteout. The valley is covered in fog, and of course the peak is completely hidden. So, I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to try. To start off the day, we got a bit of a walk in the countryside. Hola! Oh! Now, I don't know if Cerro Tusa is really the world's tallest natural pyramid. It's not like the WPO, World Pyramid Organization, has come out and done some measurements and an evaluation. But it's just what people say. It looks like a pyramid and is super steep, which brings up an issue. As you know, it's been raining, and even if it's now stopped, hopefully, the way up is extremely steep, either covered in grass and vegetation or dirt. So that is probably going to be wet. So I'm just not sure what's going to happen. But as they say, you won't know if you don't go. Even if Cerro Tusa doesn't work out, it's a beautiful walk. Oh, great. Zone of geological instability. Super. And we're not even off the paved road yet. Apparently, the cows like to chase hikers, so I'm going to try and avoid the cows. That thing's like 500 pounds. At least. Cerro Tusa should now be right up in front of us, but it's a total whiteout. Hopefully it clears a bit. Well, looks like I have a partner to go up the peak. Maybe he'll last longer than I will. We'll see. Frequently along the roadside you have these religious structures. This is in the middle of nowhere, and look, people are frequently tending it by lighting candles. Well, here's Cerro Tusa, towering in the mist. After just under an hour and a half walking from Venecia, we have reached the base of Cerro Tusa. Unfortunately, just as I arrived, it started sprinkling again. It's not heavy, but the road was just starting to dry out. So I don't know. But we'll press on. At the beginning, we're just traversing to the ascent point through some jungle forest and intermittent cow and horse pasture. Those guys are big. They make me a little nervous. Well, let's go around them. Slowly, carefully. Oh my gosh, I can actually see the sun poking through, maybe. Hopefully it'll burn off some of this mist.
Check this out. With the well-constructed stairs and flat top, this really looks like a sacrificial altar. The altar is a monolith of 9 carved steps to a flat platform where the sacrifices were made. It would have been used by the ancient Zenu people between 200 and 600 BC. Looking up from the altar towards Cerro Tusa, one can see another monolith. A section of rock on the side of Cerro Tusa that's clear of jungle and has a striking resemblance to the profile of a woman. In oral traditions, this is said to be the face of a nature goddess or Mother Earth, and also the mirror goddess, because the setting sun is reflected in the face as it stares to the west. There is speculation that this site was an important pre-Columbian sanctuary, where several stone trails converged at the altar at the base of Cerro Tusa. Indigenous Zenu people would make pilgrimages to this location and perform rituals at the altar relating to the face of the goddess.
Wow, that looks very steep. This part is basically vertical cliffs. So I think we're traversing to a better ascent point. Man, I'm hearing some weird animal noises coming from the jungle next to me. I think it's a bird, but it sounds like a bird that swallowed a rubber tire. Watch out for the poop. Wow, what beautiful countryside. Look at that. Here's a little sign. Let's take a look. The earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed. Sounds like wise words. Oh man, I hope we don't meet this guy on the trail. Looks like it's another 560 meters. Translation? Steep. We're just gonna try it. You know, even with the rains, the soil seems to absorb the water pretty good. It's not too slick. So hopefully this continues. Be careful. Yeah, it's fairly steep right off the bat. Wow, this is some hard work. But you didn't have anything else to do today anyways, did you? Gotta move on. Not sure if you can see, but there's actually people over there living up on that hillside. Thankfully, they've kind of carved steps into the soil in a lot of places, which is good because otherwise it would be smooth and steep. Oh, well, that's the first 200 meters. Can't say I'm not building up a big sweat. We're doing okay. About halfway up. I am so glad I brought my dog stick up here. It's been so helpful on this steep terrain. Getting even steeper near the top here. Oh, well, about 150 meters to go. Not a great view, but I can see right to the bottom. But no long-range view. Only 100 meters to go. I can't see the top through the jungle and mist. Hopefully we're almost there. It looks like it's flattening out. I think we are here. We have made it. Cerro Tusa. Just under 2 hours from the road and 3.5 from our hotel in Venecia. Job well done. Time for some high-fat snacks. Oh, look at this. We're even getting some views. Even some blue sky. The sun is coming out. We haven't got any long-range views. There's a lot of clouds swirling around. But at least the summit's clear here. Maybe we'll wait a few minutes and see if we can find a clear spot. I know you want to get back to town in time for some lunch and menu del dia. But relax. Remember that candy dessert I got from La Casa de Bito a few days ago? I knew I saved it for good reason. Pure sugary power. There is apparently an alternate way down to make a loop, but it certainly looks a lot less traveled. The trail is much more enclosed by vegetation, so let's not turn it into an epic. Let's stick to going down the way we came, the way we know. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that. It's turned into a fine day. The views are opening up. We are back at the start of the ascent route. Now all we have to worry about are the raging cows. I don't meet one of these guys on the way. All right. We'll slowly go around. Why do they have to be right on the freaking trail? It's ridiculous. I wouldn't want to have to hack a trail through that. I made it back to the main road. Let's take a look back at the peak now that we can see it. This is the same road that I gotta take when I get out of here and head towards Bolombolo. It's not exactly like it's in the best shape. Wow, man, this is the road. Well, it's 3 o'clock. Apparently, the best restaurant in town has no soup and no beans. They're all finished. So I walked around, found this one, and we'll see what we get. Mary May Restaurant. Looks good. First course, pescado sopa, fish soup. Looks like we got some potatoes in there, fish. Looks good. The soup was great. Now we're on to the main course. Pork, rice, arepa, a little bit of salad, and fresh juice. Well, that was a great lunch for $3.60. I walked a couple blocks, and I couldn't pass up the Tres Leches ice cream for 36 cents. Oh, delicious.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any concrete answers as to the meaning and significance of the altar and its relation to the Pyramid Mountain Saratusa and the image of the goddess in the cliff face. But it's clear that the indigenous Zenu people did see a deep meaning to this. Like many indigenous cultures, the Zenu were likely very superstitious and spiritual, and the pyramidal shape of Saratusa, combined with the image of the goddess in the cliff, was surely magical to them and led to the creation and use of the altar. Now, we'll probably never have clear answers to these mysteries of the ancients, but in my mind, that's okay. It's enough to know that these ancient people had a great respect for the unknown and things they didn't understand in the natural world around them.
Next time on Sweller Van Dweller.
So the bus that was supposed to arrive didn't show up. So it just seems to keep getting worse. What a rascal. I don't know if I'm going to make it.
If you enjoyed that video, then you should watch this one next. And if you've seen that one, well then you should watch this one. And if you've watched them both, well then, you're one of my top subscribers. And I appreciate you so much. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.